Make you move before you're ready. Yeah, write that down. See, I said, well, I don't have a college education. I don't have any paper or alphabets behind my name. And I realized that if you want to make it in life, you want to make your mark, you've got to become a risk taker. Viscott said, if you're not willing to risk, you cannot grow. And if you cannot grow, you can't become your best. And if you can't become your best, you can't be happy. And if you can't be happy, then what else is there? I like what Helen Keller said. She says, life is short and unpredictable. Eat the dessert first. So you have something special. You're here because there's something in your heart of hearts that said, I want more. I can do more. You're here because you're different. How many of you know people who should be here? Raise your hands, please. Yeah, so you're here because you're different. You're uncommon. One man said, I choose not to be a common man. It's my right to be uncommon if I can. I seek opportunity, not security. I do not wish to be a kept citizen, humbled and dulled by having the state look after me. I want to take the calculated risk, to dream and to build, to fail and to succeed. I refuse to live from hand to mouth. I prefer the challenges of life to the guaranteed existence, the thrill of fulfillment to the still calm of utopia. I will never cower before any master, nor bend to any threat. It's my heritage to stand erect, proud and unafraid to face the world boldly and say, this I have done. Give yourselves a round of applause for having an uncommon desire to reach your goals, to achieve something great with your life. Bring your level of energy up. So as you look at yourself, not only must we begin to upgrade our relationships, but the other thing is, as you look at your goals and look at your dreams, write this down. You will fail your way to success. See, 85% of people allow their fear of failure to outweigh their desire to succeed. You're going to make some mistakes, and it's okay. Anything that's worth doing is worth doing badly. It's worth doing right if you know how to do it, but if you don't know how to do it, it's worth doing badly until you get it right. You have to be willing to experiment with life. I've done a variety of things and I had absolutely no idea I have the ability to do those things. Here's what I can say about you, and I don't even know you. You've got greatness within you, but you will not discover your greatness in your comfort zone. You've got to be willing to get outside of your comfort zone, because in order to do something you've never done, you've got to become someone you've never been. And most people, they go to their graves with their greatness still in them. Maybe that's why one woman said in a moment of anguish, what if you live your whole life only to discover that it was wrong? Here's something else as you think about your goals and dreams. What's your why? Why do you want to do it? What drives you? This is my mother. She was 46 years old when she adopted first Wesley and I, and then 5 other children. And she was a driving force in my life. Which one am I? On the right or the left? I'm the cute one. Which one am I now? I'm the one on the left, all right? Yes, indeed. And as you think about your goals and dreams, think about somebody that you love, that inspired you, someone that you love, that you admire. And I think about my background, and this is Wesley and I eating sugar cane. You can see we were not born with a silver spoon in our mouths. Do y'all eat sugar cane here in Australia? Anybody ever had sugar cane? Most of you have not, just 2 people here. Yeah, it's sweet, it's interesting. You know, we were born in the area of Florida where you eat sugar cane. Donald Trump, father gave him $200 million to become successful. How many of you know if I give you $200 million, you got a good shot at becoming successful? Raise your hands, please. My mama gave us 2 pieces of sugar cane, and we had an advantage. Room always get quiet when I say that. Donald Trump was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. If you had a choice between eating a silver spoon and eating sugar cane, which one would you eat? Sugar cane, I told you we had an advantage. That's what I'm talking about. And then I met someone who changed my life. See, what we do and what we accomplish in life is a result of the story we believe about ourselves. And I met this friend, I was a disc jockey at the time, and he said, Les Brown, you're more than a disc jockey. Les Brown, you're more than a paycheck. Les Brown, you can do more. How many of you had somebody see something in you didn't see in yourself? Raise your hands, please. And I couldn't see it at the time. But he continued to talk to me. Faith comes by hearing and hearing and hearing. And eventually I became an entrepreneur. I began to book concerts, and not just doing a radio show, but I invited entertainers to come to town. And these little guys came in 1973. There I am standing in the back. That's Michael Jackson there at 10 years of age in 1973. I didn't know who they were going to become. They didn't know who I was going to become. The hand that you shook in the audience, you have no idea whose hand you just shook. You don't know who they are. Eye has not seen, ear has not heard, nor has entered the heart of mankind what God has in store for that person whose hand you just shook. That person, they have greatness within them, and you have greatness within you. And to prove it, you were chosen 1 out of 400 million sperm. There's something in you. And God said, I want you, I want you, I want you, I want you. There's something you have that the world needs now. If you don't give it to us, we will all be deprived. And so as you think about your goals and dreams, how many of you like to make a difference in your community? Raise your hands, please. You have the ability to do that. I ran for the Ohio legislature. Had no idea I had the ability to do that. Passed 14 bills my first term. You have greatness within you. You can make more impact than you can ever begin to imagine when you're willing to challenge yourself. Let us say together, leap. Everybody together say, leap. And grow your wings on the way down. Yeah, see, one of the things about life, you're going to get hurt. You're going to make some mistakes. You're going to fail your way to success. But you got to be willing to experiment. You got to be willing to push yourself. You got to be willing to challenge yourself by putting yourself in a perpetual state of discomfort. And so, but things happen in life. When you have goals and dreams, things happen. I had no idea. Midway of my third term, my mother became ill. She was diagnosed with breast cancer. My brothers and sisters called me and said they're going to put her in a nursing home. And I said, no. They said, we thought you would say that. We've interviewed the best nursing homes in Dade County. I said no. So I had a problem. How can one woman raise 7 children who couldn't take care of themselves, but 7 grown people couldn't take care of one woman? I had a problem with that. And I said no. So I resigned from the Ohio legislature and I came back to Miami to take care of Mama. And took care of her until 89. And there are things, as you have your goals, things are going to happen to you that you can't anticipate. Some of you in the eye of the storm now. Things are going to happen. And don't say, why does it have to happen to me? Why not you? Who would you suggest? You want to give us some names or email addresses? That's really what I said the second time I got cancer. They had told me the cancer metastasized in 7 areas of my body. I started laughing. He said, why are you laughing? Are you in denial? I said, no, I feel like Mother Teresa. He said, what do you mean? She said, Lord, I know you know how much I can bear. I just wish you didn't have so much confidence in me. There's times in your life when things are going to happen that you've got to begin to put your dream on hold. And you might have to reinvent yourself. How many have already gone through that? Raise your hands, please. It's called life. And don't tell everybody about it. 80% don't care. 20% glad it's you. You have to suck it up and handle it. That's what it's called being in business, being an entrepreneur, being a risk taker, walking by faith and not by sight. Stuff happens to you. And so I had to go in a new direction. And I decided to tell my story. How many of you got a story? Raise your hands, please. How many of you have gone through some things in life that you can teach some other people? Raise your hands, please. How many of you, like me, had periods in your life when you were temporarily insane? Raise your hands. See, there's some people, one of the goals I have in training, 100,000 voices of hope outside of politics and outside of religion, both of which I believe unwittingly polarize and divide people, and teach people how to deliver a message of hope and give people methods and techniques that will help them to change their lives and begin to move their lives to another level. You have something special. You have greatness within you. That story that you have can impact people's lives. Mike Williams talked to me, and it changed my life. It began to expand my vision. How many of you have a college education? Raise your hands, please. Very good. Over 90%. How many ever give a lecture at Harvard University? Raise your hands, please. No hands up. That's in your future. Shake somebody's hand on your right and left and say, that's in my future. That's in my future. Everybody point at me right now. Point at me right now. Point at me lovingly right now. Say, Les Brown. Everybody together say, Les Brown. If you can do it, I can do it. And this time when you say, I can do it, say it with conviction. Point at me again. Les Brown. If you can do it, I can do it. Shake someone's hand on your right and left and say, I'm ready to play a bigger game. Do that right now. Say, I'm ready to play a bigger game. Absolutely. Yes. It says you look at yourself and look at your goals. There's some things that you can do when you challenge yourself, when you go outside your comfort zone. There are things that will come in the direction of your life that you can't even begin to imagine. That you're going to begin to evolve and go to new levels that will amaze you. And I tell you these things not to impress you, but to impress upon you. You have something special. You have greatness within you. You have the ability to do more than you can ever begin to imagine. And so what I'm suggesting that you do is to stretch yourself. That you constantly look for ways as an entrepreneur, how can you begin to set yourself apart from the competition? What is it that you can do that can make you stand out? What are the market takeaways that you can do? One of the things that I learned as a speaker, as a trainer, as an entrepreneur, and a small business operator is that you've got to find something that you love and that you master that. Henry David Thoreau said, do not go where the path may lead, but go where there's no path and leave a trail. As you look at yourself as a business operator, as you look at yourself as an entrepreneur, as you look at yourself as a person that want to make a mark with your life, that want to leave a legacy, you've got to be hungry. Let us say together, I'm hungry to do more. I'm hungry to stretch myself. I'm hungry to take my life to another level. I never forget this gentleman that I'm going to talk with tomorrow. He's now in his 90s. He's blind from glaucoma. And I never forget, he said, young man, go to the board and work this problem out for me. And I said, oh, sir, I can't do that. He says, why not? I said, I'm not one of your students. He said, look at me. Yes, sir. Go to the board and work the problem out anyhow. I said, I can't, sir. And the other students started laughing. They said, he's Leslie. He's got a twin brother, Wesley. Wesley is smart. He's DT. He said, what's DT? He's the dumb twin. And I said, I am, sir. As the students laughed, as some of you did. And he came from behind his desk, he looked at me. He said, don't you ever say that again. Someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. And that was a turning point in my life. On one hand, I was humiliated, but on the other hand, I was liberated. Because he looked at me with the eyes of Goethe, who said, look at a man the way that he is, he only becomes worse. But look at him as if he were what he could be, then he becomes what he should be. He said, young man, what do you want to do with your life? I said, sir, I want to make my mother proud, sir. He said, how do you plan to do that? I said, when I get out of high school, I'd like to be a disc jockey. He said, is that right? I said, yes, sir. He says, good, I'm going to tell you some things to do. I said, what is it? He says, number one, he said, I want you to work on your mind. He said, here's some motivational materials I want you to listen to by Dr. Norman Vincent Peale and Earl Nightingale. Train your thinking. Write this down. This is very important. What you think about, you bring about. He said, I want you to train your mind to serve you. And I want you to focus on becoming a disc jockey every day. I want you to see yourself on the radio talking to thousands of people. I want you to see yourself doing the things that you want to accomplish. Hold the vision. And I encourage you to do the same thing, whatever area, whatever you want to do, whatever business that you're in, whatever industry that you're in. You want to see yourself there and hold the picture of what it is you want to accomplish. And I said, sir, I want to be a disc jockey, but I don't have a job yet. And then he quoted Whitney Young. He said, young man, it's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. He said, you got to be hungry. I said, I am hungry, sir. He said, good. Here are my car keys. At 12 noon, I want you to go in my car and turn on the radio and listen to Paul Harvey. Who is Paul Harvey, sir? He's the world's greatest communicator. He said, whatever you want to do, you want to find people who master that, because success leaves clues. And that's the same thing I'm suggesting to you. Whatever area that you want to go in, it's finances, in business, insurance industry, whatever area that you're interested in, find the people who are mastering that and follow their example. He said, and let me share something else. I said, yes, sir. He said, watch your relationships. They're nourishing relationships and they're toxic relationships. Nourishing relationships, they bring the best out of you. They inspire you. Toxic relationships, they drain you. I said, I will, sir. I do exactly what you're telling me to do, sir. And then he said, Mr. Brown, yes, sir. I've given you everything I can give you. You've got to go out into the marketplace and face the music. I said, thank you, sir. I went to apply for a job on Miami Beach. Milton Butterball Smith was the program director. Hello, Mr. Butterball. How are you, sir? My name is Les Brown, sir. I like to be a disc jockey. Young man, do you have any journalism in your background? No, sir, I don't. Do you have experience in broadcasting? No, sir, but I visualize myself being on the air every day, sir. I practice. All I want is a shot. Just give me a shot. He says, no, we don't have any job for you. How many have ever been rejected? Raise your hands, please. I was devastated with rejection. I went back and I said, hey, Mr. Washington, they said no. He said, don't take it personally. Most people are so negative, they have to say no 7 times before they say yes. He said, you got to be hungry. Go back again. I said, yes, sir. Hello, Mr. Butterball. How are you, sir? My name is Les Brown, sir. I like to be a disc jockey. Young man, weren't you here yesterday? Yes, sir. Didn't I tell you no yesterday? Yes, sir. Then why are you back today? Well, sir, I didn't know whether or not somebody was laid off or somebody was fired, sir. Nobody was laid off or fired. Now get on out of here. I came back the next day. Hello, Mr. Butterball. How are you, sir? My name is Les Brown, sir. I like to be a disc jockey. I know what your name is. Weren't you here the last 2 days? Yes, sir. Didn't I tell you no the last 2 days? Yes, sir. Then why are you back today? Well, sir, I didn't know whether or not someone got sick or someone died, sir. No one got sick or died. No one was laid off or fired. Now, don't you come back here again. I came back the next day, talking loud, looking happy, like I was singing for the first time. I said, hello, Mr. Butterball. How are you? He looked at me with rage. He says, go get me some coffee. I said, yes, sir. My favorite book says the greatest among you will be your servant. How many of you are serious about reaching your goals? Raise your hands, please. Here's something I encourage you to write this down. Provide more service than you get paid for. As small business operators, and you're going to do market takeaways, you've got to provide more service than you get paid for. You've got to build relationships with people. You got to be able to tell your story, because people do business with people they know, like, and trust. You've got to look for ways, as a lady who became the dominant force in her industry. And they said, how did you get here? In an industry that's dominated by men, and she said, it's not our intention to please our customers or to satisfy our customers. Our intention is to amaze them with the quality of the service that we provide for them. And so you have to literally amaze your customers. Go above and beyond as you begin to anticipate what their needs are and look for ways in which you can begin to impact them. And so as you look at your goals and dreams, the people that are willing to do that are hungry. He said, Mr. Brown, go face the music. I went to apply for this job 3 different times. They said no. Finally, they asked me to become the errand boy for the disc jockeys. I'd go get their lunch and their dinner, and I'd stand in control room, knowing my time would come. Let us say together, my time will come. And on the weekends, they would come out to the parking lot, and their cars be waxed and cleaned, inside out. They said, hey, who did this? Write this down. Give before you ask. Give before you ask. I was just trying to get my foot in the door. I wanted to establish a reputation of being a go-to person, a person of resourcefulness, a person that's relentless and unstoppable, a person that can get things done. I said, I did, sir. How much you charge? Nothing, sir. I just wanted to help out. I was building relationships. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. Look here. Donna Ross and the Supremes are coming to town. The Four Tops and the Temptations. Here are my car keys. Pick them up and take them to the Fontainebleau Hotel on Miami Beach. It'll be my pleasure to serve you, sir. I was driving these entertainers in the disc jockeys' big long Cadillacs. I didn't have any driver's license, but I was driving like I had some. Then one day, it was a Saturday afternoon, a disc jockey by the name of Rockin' Roger was drinking while he was on the air. Rockin' Roger got so drunk, he could not complete the show. He began to stutter his words. He was about to fall off the chair. It was a Saturday afternoon, and I was the only one there, looking at him through the control room window, walking back and forth, young, ready, and hungry. I was saying, drink, rock, drink. Drink, rock. I'd have gone get him some more if he'd asked me to. Then pretty soon the phone rang. It was the general manager and answered the phone. I said, hello? He said, young boy, this is Mr. Klein. I said, I know. He said, Rock can't finish his program. I said, I know. He said, would you call one of the other DJs in? I said, yes, sir. I hung the phone up. I said, now he must think I'm crazy. I called my mama and my girlfriend, Cassandra. I said, y'all come out on the front porch and turn on the radio. I'm about to come on the air. I waited for about 20 minutes, and then I called him back. I said, Mr. Klein, I can't find nobody. He said, young boy, you know how to work the controls? I said, yes, sir. He said, go in there and segue the records, but don't you say nothing here. I said, yes, sir. I couldn't wait to get old Rock out of the way. I put on a fast record. I said, look out, this is me, LB Triple P, Les Brown, your platter playing papa. There were none before me, and there will be none after me. Therefore, that makes me the one and only. Young and single and love to mingle, certified, bona fide, indubitably qualified to bring you satisfaction and a whole lot of action. Look out, baby, I'm your love man. I was hungry. Get the old man a round of applause. I was hungry. I was hungry. Shake someone's hand on your right and left, look them in the eyes and say, you got to be hungry. Do that right now. Shake someone's hand and say, you got to be hungry. People that are hungry are willing to do the things today others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. People that are hungry believe, always strive to get on top in life because it's the bottom that's overcrowded. People that are hungry know if you want to be successful, you must be willing to do the things today others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. I didn't do what I'm doing right now because it was hard. How many of you decided not to do something because it was hard? Raise your hands, please. I want you to write this down. If you do what is easy, your life will be hard. Complain, point at your circumstances, give up your power, blame the government, blame the economy. If you do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, your life will be easy. It's hard to make a radical change in your behavior. It's hard to take ownership. It's hard to swallow the bitter pill that wherever you find yourself, at some point in time, you made an appointment to be there. It's hard. It's hard. If you do what is easy, your life will be hard. If you do what is hard, your life will be easy. I don't know what your goals are. I don't know what you want to do with your life. Here's what I know about your being here. That there's something in you that waits and listens to the voice of the genuine in yourself. It will be perhaps the only guide you will ever have. And if you cannot hear it, all of your life, your days will be spent on the ends of strings that somebody else pulls. And I submit to you, the reason that you're here is that in your heart of hearts, you've said, I'm going to pull my own strings. I say to you, the reason that you're here is something about you that says, I'm going to control my own destiny. There's something about you that when you pointed your fingers at your circumstances, you realized you had three pointing at yourself. So I want to dedicate something to you that my mother loved to hear me say. Mama was a 22-year breast cancer conqueror. I want to dedicate this to you, to the achiever in you, to the greatness in you, to the unexpressed gifts, talents, and abilities that you have in you that's hungry to get out. And it says simply this. Leslie, yes ma'am, mama. Say that thing for me, boy, that makes me feel good. It says simply this. If you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it, of all that your dream and scheme is about it, and life seems useless and worthless without it, and if you gladly sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it, and lose all your terror of the opposition for it, and if you simply go after that thing that you want with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither cold poverty, famish, or gulf, sickness or pain of body and brain can keep you away from the thing that you want, dogged and grim, you besiege and beset it with the help of